gotten in touch with such a great advisors. Um, we're trying to solve that problem. That somebody's angry at the delivery or the delivery drive-through lane.
Oh my, wait, what delivery are they upset with?
No, somebody's honking. The Chick-fil-A is very busy, and they're honking at the the way that people are lining up on the lanes. Oh,
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is like always a nightmare. So definitely tell me a little bit about your business.
sure, sure. So, like I said, my name is Mauro Netzawald, and I'm the founder of Faster Drivers Delivery Service. And I started this company after working for DoorDash and seeing three major problems. High delivery fees for restaurants, low wages for drivers, and
Yeah.
unpredictable costs for restaurants. So when I started this company, I wanted to eliminate commission fees for restaurants, guarantee better pay for drivers, and reduce costs for customers, all while fostering local economic growth. Um, this market is huge. It's supposed to grow to 29.1 billion in 2023, and it did grow to 29, and it's supposed to grow actually annually 10%. Probably went down a little bit to probably 9%, but it's still supposed to reach like 68 billion by 2032. And
Wow.
our model is very simple. We charge restaurants just a $365 per year fee and drivers $100 a month, which saves them thousands annually while also eliminating the uncertainty of commission-based fees. And
Huh?
customers also benefit by sharing delivery costs, making food delivery more affordable and predictable for everyone. And
Hmm.
I originally as a driver, I wanted to just make sure I make better money, but I ended up building a win-win-win ecosystem that really
Yeah.
strengthens that local economy and creates better opportunities for all. And working together, they foster trust that allows them to extract the most value. So this is something that um, Jerice and I, especially since she became my advisor, she's helped me just put together a financial model that is.
And it's a really strong story, I think, that you just told too. It's crisp. It talks about the problems, and so it gives me a really good idea from jump, like what you're doing. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and but this has just been recent. I need to get better at reading off script. Um, it's just that there's so much. I get very excited because it's so much value. We've created so much value just by putting the money in where it's best. That see, this is what I'm saying. I get all confused, but
How
peop
much? Well, let me ask you something. How much money? I use DoorDash a lot,
oh my God,
and it drives me crazy,
oh my God,
right? So
yeah.
I mainly what I do is I now just order in DoorDash and then I go pick it up because I'm
Oh,
like, it's
that's what they're trying to do, which is the thing is, it's unsustainable. It's the model in itself is very unsustainable simply because you're basing it on extracting value for your business, which every business it does. That's what But on restaurants, that's already a thin margin. So my concept was to try to figure out the cost of doing of the cost of doing creating this product and maintaining it, and seeing if I can replicate this with the people that I had at to what scale. So
Mhm.
being able to like say it takes me, I can share my screen my screen to give you an idea of my Excel because I'm actually really proud. I've actually
Yeah,
learned Excel
sure.
in the past week or so. So
Yeah.
let me, okay. So we're gonna probably spend just to start on the first year.
Okay.
Like I said, we charge restaurants 365 a year, and drivers $100 a month, so $1,200 a year. Those are our main earning channels. So to go at a very conservative pace in year one, we're planning on onboarding one restaurant and five drivers per day,
Hmm.
and that's gonna earn us about $2.3 million.
Hmm.
And running a very professional but lean team of two developers and one marketing expert, plus our marketing and our legal and licensing. our cost is going to be about $206,000, which is going to leave us at around $2.1 million. And
I would imagine, wait, just out of
yeah,
I would imagine you're going to have some legal expenses in here too.
yeah, we are
Yeah.
expecting to see some. The thing is, it's I'm in a unique position that um, I have an LLC already set up, and I'm just gonna change it into a Delaware C corp. Um, so
Yeah.
the cost of that in itself is 3,000. So we have a little, as you can see, we still have some space, and I have a little bit more learning to do. But I was projecting something higher on this range, and she said do something leaner. And this is where she transferred me. She connected me with Pacific Software Ventures here in San Diego, and they know a lot of you guys. And they I told them the story. So this is another part of my story where after I got suspended from DoorDash in 2018, 2019, somewhere there, I started delivering right before pandemic. I did very well, and I built my first MVP with a company called Happy Pie. And then I was basically trying to undercut DoorDash, and it wasn't. That's how I knew it wasn't going to work. So then what I did is I kept working, and
Wait. How come you knew it wasn't going to work?
the commissions at the commission model, it was just flawed. It came to a point that the cost of I didn't know what it was that where what was the cost, but it's customer acquisition. Customer acquisition is extremely high, and we figure out a way to also not only um, lower that cost, but utilize it to for customer retention and acquisition, or customer acquisition and retention. So that was like one of their costs, and also being the first, the model of trying to extract value for themselves as much as possible not not it doesn't fit with the scale of economics. So I did a reverse. So right now it costs me about profit like here in the U.S. maybe $120,000 a developer, but right now the team's gonna do it for $100,000. Um, the licensing. For the state, Delaware, all that kind of stuff that we don't foresee. And Apple, some of those licenses I already have. Some of them I need to like renew. So that's all taken care of. That the computing cost is where I didn't know that the name of that cost was, but that's
What do
the
you mean computing costs? Yeah, what is that?
oh, so that's like AWS. We run real
Oh.
time. We track our drivers through the app.
Hmm.
We have it available on the iOS, Android, and it's also a web browser. But that web browser is only available for customers and restaurants, not for drivers. Um, so that cost as the we need to process all that. We need to add other services
Like
to it.
cloud, this is
Ex-
cloud storage space.
exactly. Plus processing power. Um, so
Yeah.
then I built a second version with a friend. My own money, some family lent me money, plus a big loan from a friend, $160,000, and we hired a company called Crabbotics out of San Francisco. We hired them in November 2022, and super excited and no guidance. Didn't do my due diligence. I dropped off from the program, to be honest. I didn't follow through, continue talking, and the industry was still so young. I was very frustrated with not being able to connect with somebody who who's aware of what the industry was evolving to. So you know, long story short, we got this app up and running, and we were supposed to finish it and deliver it by March 20. No, let's say June 2023. They didn't do that. So they gave me a discount, and they asked for 6 more months plus, and they were going to build more features that were for the second phase. They were supposed to be done by December. They didn't. So 2024 was all like just they gave me 6 months to like keep testing the app. They said so. I hired some of the money that I got. I paid somebody to audit them, and that's how I figured out that they were not doing their job. So then I jumped back on the program, and I connected with Jerice, with all the advisors. They're like, these numbers are too, too big. And like, this is, super conservative, and I ran it to year 15th because I think Jay said, "Oh, create a few more there. You're more aggressive. At what year can you get out of your market?" Which is right now my sum, the lowest one,
Mhm.
or SAM, is Vista. I'm here in Vista, California, and then the
So that's
next.
the obtainable market right now.
Exactly, Sam.
Mhm.
So the next one would be in this case North County, and then my TAM would be San Diego. Uh,
Yeah, so it's the opposite. So TAM is the biggest, right? Where TAM is the total.
the U.S.
And
market,
total, and think about your total market as maybe it's all of the
it
US,
is. No,
not.
no, it is. That's why. But my problem is that I scare people when I say those numbers because if you look at that number right here at year 15,
I don't see. Can you scroll over it? Because I
yeah,
only see up to year 11.
eh, oh, there we go. Year 15th, and that's not with all our other revenue streams coming in. I haven't even figured out the cost here because I know it's gonna grow definitely, but
So let's go backwards.
sure,
Okay. I get why people could be afraid, but let's talk about
sure.
what are all the things that have to happen in order for you to even get these 365 restaurants
So
and 1,800 drivers on board.
so I already have um, about 300 restaurants, 600 maybe, but let's say cut half in half because it's been about a year and a half now that I surveyed them.
And by the way, your app is ready now?
Yeah, it's actually ready.
Okay. Okay,
So,
good.
but it's very plain, and what's lacking is the features and the complications. Like if a restaurant wants to Japanese restaurants, you can add and subtract items. That's where it gets complicated. It's not elegant, it's not finished, but it can process simple stuff like pepperoni pizza, tacos, no onions with onions. But when it gets complicated, it needs just a little up work. But it is live. It does work. The main thing we were wanting to make sure is processing the payments and that our formula worked because we also figure out, or I also figure out how to drive up demand because we are able to share the cost with the customers. So think like a group chat. So it's a group order, and they're incentivized. They can pay as little as 50 cents. We do it on a schedule, and a lot of times, just by doing it with 2 to 3 people, you already save 50%. And it just goes lower. Plus, we can utilize that data for the drivers in our technology to map and string those orders more efficiently.
So let me make sure I understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
So last year you had a horrible developer who didn't deliver,
Yeah,
but you got your app developed, although the UI UX maybe is not where you want it to be.
exactly.
But you believe it is functional enough for your earliest customers to be able to do very basic orders. They just can't add and
Very
delete.
much. Yeah, like for me, I was thinking about this recently. Coffee shops would be great. Anything that's not overly complicated. I can do Mexican restaurant. Right now, I would avoid, for example, Japanese restaurants, Chinese, Indian. Um, but anything simple, we can do.
Mhm. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. So your target right now is like, things that don't need to be modified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have 3 restaurants of that type, for example. Well, 4 technically. Cafecito Hut they have 3. One in San Diego, one here in Vista, and another thing in Escondido.
And
Plus,
are they already on board with you?
we have talked already, so we have a oral contract. Plus, also BlackRock. BlackRock has a few more locations, so that's
So
also
what is it? What is it? Let's go backwards because my
sure,
question, I don't think you answered it
sure.
still. My question to you really was maybe I didn't phrase it good. My question to you is what, so maybe it's a two-part question. What does your app need to offer for people to say, yep, I'm willing to try it?
Ease of use. The people have tried it, my early betas. They're like, this is easy, but for restaurants right now, it's the ability to connect to our Stripe platform is very clunky.
Wait, so It's easy to use, and then what else is the benefit right now?
The low cost. So
Got
we
it.
eliminate the low cost. So for the low cost, they're like, we can try, we'll definitely try it. You're telling me that you can connect us with as many drivers that we need for $1, of course, and no hidden costs, even better.
Because how does that compare to what they're paying today?
So the one thing we never know is how many orders they process. It's different for everybody. But they lose on average $2 to $4 per order they process on other platforms. Slice, for example, is the one that's flat. It's $2 per order, no matter what size. But other platforms, they're commissions. They take 15% to 30%, depending, and then the size of the order increases the cost, the loss. So there's no way to drive up demand. Customers are not incentivized to use this type of platforms if there's something that is um, available that is the opposite, that saves that money. Plus, it puts that money again in the hands of the right people.
So what other challenges do you think your platform is going to have?
Honestly, it's gonna be education. Being
Yeah.
able to tell people that this model is focused on making money for them. A lot of people,
But
uh
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
the fact that we're all accustomed, and my mom was probably the biggest example that we uh, we need to spend little to but maximize as much as we can from that investment. Um, and it's reverse for us. It's like how much how how little can we charge for this service so that you can stay on board. We would rather um, exchange short-term gains for long-term sustainability, and giving them that revenue back into their hands. It empowers them to really not only grow, it grows only in our platform.
How will you compete with DoorDash?
um, right now, competing with DoorDash is going to be all about, again, being able to explain to people how we differentiate ourselves. um, a lot of our customers, our early adopters, are going to be our customer acquisition. They're going to be the first line of to reach our customers. So we're going to rely upon a lot upon them and using their experiences, because that's where it really relies. People can relate to this problem because everybody has experienced it. So being able to compete with DoorDash is just, again, being able to differentiate ourselves from them and show that our model is has our users in mind. They got to win first before we do.
So, okay. All right. Cool. So, how are we going to use our time today? Thank you for the background on your business.
Well,
You had some interesting questions during the session.
honestly, I kind of like, at the moment, I think we were talking about the legal, and in reality
And
it's, yeah.
the team.
So now we have um
Oh, that's right. You were telling me you don't have any team
I
members.
have now starting to have two, and the restaurants are gonna I'm gonna try to get 20 restaurants to be one of my core partners, mainly because I'm gonna see if I can get $10,000 from them, um but also because their partnership is going to allow them to give me data. We're going to give them a lot of perks and benefits for their involvement at this stage. But if they start being part of the team. We only need about 20 in whole San Diego County, and
20 what?
restaurants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why only 20 when you said you have
Oh
365
no,
as your goal?
to pay us 10,000 to become like core restaurants. They're gonna become like more in become part of the team in itself.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean they'll
So
become part of the
so
team?
so we need a couple of restaurants to become like hosts, places of like where our basically seed and direct people to to learn about our platform from in near them. So these restaurants are going to be able to host events to bring drivers, explain them. They're going to be able to also invite restaurant owners. So that proximity, that familiarity is going to allow us to reach the customer more. Not
And you
only,
want them to pay you for them to give you this
yeah,
publicity?
But we're also
Okay.
going to give them a lifetime membership to this platform. We're going to give them incentives, for example, $10 referrals or affiliate programs for them to refer us to drivers and restaurants. And since the drivers pay $100, losing $10 is it's okay, and the restaurant's paying 365, and only losing, I think, $50, $50 right now. I think it's a cost worth spending. So since
Have
we
you found any who are willing to give that?
yes, actually one of the things that held me back is again the lack of teamwork and also the legal um, person and now the infrastructure to put that in writing and give them that level of confidence. So again, because of Jerice, she connected me with
Natalia?
yes, Natalia Pence, but then she also connected me with lawyers. Uh, Liam Hayes, I think, out of San here. They're big, so that's another thing that was really lacking. Now that I have that, I can go to them, follow through. They have not shut the door on me. They've actually been. I can see that they still check up on me from time to time. So if I'm able to come back now with the full teamwork, the team, our timeline set, and with this, I mean, not only am I gonna seek that money from them, but I'm in the competition for San Diego Angel Conference, but also to reach out once, especially the Delaware C Corp paperwork is done. To I have two angels already um, interested in me. They just want me to finish that process.
Okay. Um, you've you've said a lot. Some of it holds together, some of it doesn't. So, um, what do you have to do first? So you told me, you started by telling me you have well, back to what do we want to accomplish in this meeting? What are you looking
Um,
for?
well, really, I just kind of practiced my pitch. I did that.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
But
Okay.
also, really, in regards to the legal and teamwork, what is my what should I be doing? I have advisors through through the brink, and I want to ask how to bring them on board now, then later onto my company if possible. I have
Why, by the way, you mentioned in our meeting that you have not had team members and it's really just been the developing team. Um, what kind of team do you think you need to bring on board with you now?
honestly, with the two guys, the two developers that I have, their credibility, they have already established themselves here in San Diego. Plus, Jerice is gonna put her name next to mine, and really, I need to learn who else I need to. For me, I would ask everybody. I would bring them on board, and I have some advisors through other programs who I would love to also bring them um, uh, to my company to work for me or work with me.
But what kind of skills do you need?
Right now,
Is
for well, Jerice really is my guiding force on that side, but on the company itself. The developers are gonna be taking care of the engineering and development plus my marketing. She's gonna take care of that. Probably company management. I have no skill whatsoever at this to be able to guide this to its full extent correctly. It's best for me to find somebody that can manage this. I don't know
Yeah,
what it's called. Honestly, I don't know
yeah.
what's called. I would say
I
like
think maybe operations
yeah.
because you have a pretty, even though you're telling me it's pretty turnkey and easy to happen, there's actually a lot of moving parts that you have in your business, which make it very risky. And so you having someone who has experience with this kind of a business would be really helpful to prove like, yeah, you know what, I have the expertise that I need to make this happen. Because I think right now, um, a lot of what you're telling me, I'm somewhat buying and somewhat not buying. Right? The part that I'm not buying is I think I think it's going to be really hard to get people to leave DoorDash and decide to come to you, because they already have DoorDash works, right? And they know that it works. And even though the model sucks, your UI right now is a little bit clunky. So they're going to say this doesn't feel intuitive. And whether we like it or not, customers compare us to what they know.
Yeah.
So they're going to compare you to DoorDash, even though DoorDash sucks with taking too much of their money. And so you're going to have to then prove to them that your solution is going to be so much better for them, but you don't yet have data on
Oh
that.
no, I do have data on that. So that's
Oh,
another
good.
that I have data, and another thing that I've been able to do is really, if I was able to scale when I
Uh-huh.
first launched, I
Uh-huh.
would have taken away a lot of market share. The only thing that have there's two things that have delayed me. One was the delay of my app that failed to deliver, and not having the a cook in the kitchen. So I know that analogy because if I wasn't doing this, I would be a pizza maker, and without a pizza maker, a pizza shop doesn't go. Doesn't matter if the owner is there and he owns it. If there's no pizza maker, it's not gonna go. So
Yeah.
being able to get a vet, so the two companies I got on my own.
Okay.
No skill. I have no. That's not my no skill whatsoever. So Jory's given me a reference to this team, and I'm telling them, look, guys, we're doing the exact same instructions that I told Crowdbotics. I said we're gonna do DoorDash clone, exactly same layout. The only difference is how we're gonna charge and how we're gonna process our payments. Now that the system is more evolved, it's really more easy to replicate. So when I started this 2 years ago, I think the total was going to be about 250,000. Now the total work can be done in about, if we needed to start from scratch, 2 months,
Good.
$100,000.
And what about, how do you get the drivers to come on board with you?
So right now I'm part of a huge community. So I resonate with drivers right away, being able to tell them, look, 30 to $60 an hour, especially because we take away the uncertainty, but second, we teach you how to upgrade your game so that you consistently earn more than 30, if not more. Right? My average when I was doing this for about 2 years was actually $90 an hour. I was doing very well. I again, all of that data I was able to keep, but when it came to trying to like inspire people, especially my family, that was kind of always a challenge. They're risk takers, but only to a certain scale. They
Oh,
got
I get it.
they saw the numbers too. They're like, "You're
Yeah,
nuts!
it's
You
like
can't."
money is real, right? People,
And
nobody
they're old
wants to
school.
lose money.
But right now, I taught my mom about her concept of like, oh well, I buy a pound of potatoes for $50, or $50 worth of potatoes, sell it for 100. I made $50 profit. I earned $50. I'm like, no, take start taking two, and oh my gosh, it's like so I made like $3. And I said, yeah, I only made
So, okay, so you there's a potential, there's a learning curve, which you already talked about. What
yeah.
else is a potential challenge for this business?
Really, the only ones that are giving me of the three groups, because I deal with three, even though I only make money from two, the restaurants and the drivers. But my
Okay,
customers are important to the system because without them, there's no beginning, there's no end. And being able to offer them a service that's low cost, plus the customers, everybody's very much aware where the money is not going in other platforms. Everybody is aware.
totally,
So
totally.
I give just that switch in itself is actually the thing that's gonna I'm gonna utilize DoorDash, their flaws and their inability to change, and just show them the proof and say, look, I'm gonna charge $100 a month, but within that month, I'm gonna be connecting you with the restaurants that are based close to you. You're gonna get orders based on consistency, proximity. I have those all the time.
Now, let me ask you one thing. Is $100 a month
Yeah.
enough to take care of those cloud fees that you're going to end up having.
Yes, it's not only do we have cloud fees. I mean, we can cover the cloud fees. The economics of scale applies, but there's two other items that I wasn't able to figure out how to because it affects the driver's earning potential. Two elements that are unpredictable and non-controllable, which is the weather and the traffic. So if you can
Mm-hmm.
see car top advertising,
Mm-hmm.
that's something I did with when I was with DoorDash, and I have a picture somewhere. I'll send it to you. I basically bolted two TVs atop of my car, and I connected that to
You're
my.
very crafty, aren't you?
I connected it to a splitter to my computer, and I created a playlist on YouTube, but of
That's awesome.
commercials. But too much work plus DoorDash. But I proved my concept. I was waiting for orders. I would advertise. I would be on delivery. I would
Oh, I
advertise.
see. So you would advertise your own business. And
No,
has
no,
it
no, no, no,
started?
no, 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 no. I would
Oh,
advertise the restaurants that I was delivering from.
oh,
Yeah. I would like, for example, if I got an order from a mom and pop restaurant, whatever you want, I would, I would create an ad for them. My idea was
okay.
to fill it with 20, but I only made 8. So everybody paid me $100. Like, yeah, sure, we'll give you $100. So when I was picking up an order from that restaurant, my sign would turn to their logo and say picking up, because I learned from the CHP, and because I went there and I'm grandfather, that's why I can do this program at least here in California, legal and probably down the road. But they're like, just don't distract the driver, front and back, to the sides, okay, but it's gotta be static while you're on the road. While you're parked, you can play anything as long as public. So
Got it.
I would park where high foot traffic while waiting for orders, or I live in like apartment complex, housing, houses close proximity. Great. I would while I was delivering on the apartments, and trust me, even though you get to learn the apartment complexes and there's a lot, it gave me the opportunity to advertise, and that was like, okay, if I can do this to 20, that's $2,000 in my pocket. So what we're gonna do, and now on this side, because we have a cost of doing this, we're gonna split that cost with each driver. We're gonna project that maybe half of them are gonna put them on top of them, and they're gonna create 24,000 that service. But we're
So,
gonna
okay, you lost me now.
sure.
So let me give you some feedback.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I mean, this is why we have these meetings,
Oh, sure.
right? You have totally lost me in your story now
Oh God.
because you've started going over too many things.
Sure.
And none of what you started telling me, I mean, it kind of connects,
Yeah.
but it's a lot. It's
I
a
need to
lot.
string it.
You
Correct.
gotta totally, you gotta stop yourself from your, it's a little bit too wordy, right?
Everybody keeps saying
I
that.
don't need to, I don't need to know everything.
Yep.
I just need to know what's the market, right?
Yeah.
Why have you figured out a solution that the market wants? And how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
That's what I really need to know. And as we think about those pieces, I'm not convinced yet on on a couple parts of
Sure.
that. The first part that I'm not convinced on is I don't know how you're going to have enough resources to build the kind of name recognition that you're going to need
Hmm.
to get to even the 365 businesses in year one.
Hmm.
And you haven't told me how you're going to do that. You said you're going to hire marketing, but you haven't told me what you're going to do with marketing and to get to those businesses. Maybe, and then you told me that your product is ready for simple businesses. So I was sold on, all right, well, maybe coffee shops and, simple fast food maybe are your initial target. That's your SOM, right? Those are your obtainable markets while you figure out how you, and in North County, San Diego, or in Vista specifically.
So should I think of some Sam as types of cuisines instead of areas?
It could be both, right? It
Well,
could be,
it's just that again because sorry,
yeah,
I was shocked when the guys told me that they were gonna be able to, if from scratch, to build the app for two
yeah,
months. I was
yeah.
shocked because I knew that it's now it's gonna do a lot of much more than I can do too. They're like, no, we can clone DoorDash. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
The thing that's gonna take time is the processes, the wording, how you want it, how the code for that. So
Yeah.
being able to utilize the users in itself, it's just that DoorDash in itself is the what I'm gonna use to reach the customer. I just simply have to say, I charge you this, or figure out how to say reach the customer.
I don't, but why, how do you know that? That I'm not buying that from
Oh,
you.
so
That's what
from
I'm saying to you. I don't believe you.
so we
Uh,
going back a little to the story. Then I'm gonna distort this. It's
well,
gonna
okay, wait, no, no, no. Don't give me more of the story.
okay,
Here's what you're going to have to do.
okay. Let me write
Because
my notes.
you have a lot of story.
Yeah,
I now need you to get some customers that prove out that what you're telling me works.
yeah. Beta. You need beta restaurants and drivers. So we have 10 beta and 35 drivers.
And what matters in that is not that you have them.
Hmm.
What really matters is, do you know how to get more of them? Do you have you figured out a recipe to keep repeating that where you can add to it? Because if you can't in your story, so the whole idea of your pitch is to tell a story of how you have identified a real problem, which you have, and you know how to address that problem in a way that customers are going to want to buy you,
Okay.
and you know how to find those customers and get them to buy you. But and so what I'm telling you is when you're as you're telling me your story, you're telling me a lot about, yeah, I can get them, but you haven't done it. So what you want your beta to do is to prove out that everything that you're saying about, yeah, I know how to get them, is how you're actually getting them. That so that it's less of you trying to convince me that you know, and it's more of you showing me, like, here's the proof. That's what I'm looking. When I say I'm not buying it, I'm not buying the story you're telling me. I want to see some data that proves it. That's what I mean by that.
So one of the things that I didn't know how to manage the
Uh-huh.
was that list of restaurants that I'm boarded. So
Okay.
on my list of onboards, people that just downloaded from hearing from me and what I had to offer, not the betas,
Yeah.
I have 600, a little bit about more than 600. Um,
Okay.
somewhere in there, it's some drivers.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I would need to, the guys are going to look over the data this weekend. I can
Okay.
refine that a little bit more. Plus,
That would be
I
fantastic.
have a list of interested drivers from my groups. And again, I need to figure out. I think I can get them to drop their email on my website. I have a website right now. I know how to use it. I need to figure out how to set up the link for them to just sign up. So start getting them so I can become, like you said, it becomes real. Right now, the list of active restaurants that want the app are ready to pay, it's 130, 135. That's on my
So now,
Wix. That's
yeah, that's fantastic. So now how do you get them on, right? So that you can start showing. So the thing about like raising capital, especially right now,
hmm
is it's kind of hard
yeah,
because investors are like, you got to prove to me that you got something that's already making money.
exactly.
So if you got people who are like, yeah, I'm on and I'm ready and I'm willing to pay, the more you can show that, the better it's going to be. That
Yeah,
would be amazing.
yeah. So the original ones were 600, but the most recent ones that I reached out personally, and I mean it's a lot, but I do remember which ones they said yes, and they're multiples. That's another thing too. So I don't know when to stop to count them as by unit or by corporation. So
Yeah.
that's another thing that, um, and I would like to kind of have them all here in North County where I can kind of get to them at
Yep.
in the near just in the near term. But some of them are a little spread out. I have some on the 600 that I have. I there's some from out of state because it resonates. Maybe at the moment the way I spoke to them. So I can. It's a matter of putting that into hard data. Into
It's just a matter of getting them on the platform and having them use it, right?
yeah.
That's going to be your best proof
So
because
we're gonna bring the app back online because of what we're gonna do anyways. So we're gonna. This is the stage where we're gonna bring all those data and make them. What's the next stage? Just to get them to do their onboarding themselves because the to do the menu is like Instagram. Take a picture, uh, categorize it, name it, price it, SKU it, and any um, complications. That's it. So it's for them. It's easy. What's for them? It's what's, and I think it has to do again with the lack of team members. It's oh, you're gonna connect me then with Stripe, and it's within the app, no problem. But they look at me, they're like, "We're giving you our information," so they're like, We were like, but I got 10 to do it, and there's 600. Like,
so like, okay, so like what you're just saying, I got 10 to do it. Think about if you're asking someone to give you money.
yeah,
They want to know not that not that you're surprised that people were doing it. What they want to know is, I figured out a secret sauce to make people continue to do it.
yeah,
That's what you're trying to get to right now.
yeah,
So that's kind of what like you need to be working toward
yeah,
is I know what needs to be done to keep repeating this.
yeah. Like the the drivers and the restaurants are the first people we're gonna say it. In general, in itself, the marketing person is gonna really use social media, um, anything that's within our budget, to make a really good marketing campaign. That in it's difficult for us because we deal with three customer segments. That's another thing that I haven't to figure out. I've asked everybody.
You might need to become more
Three is different, or at least two, but I think it's gonna be three.
you might need to narrow.
Yeah. So for now, I know it's gonna be either the restaurants, mainly because they're the ones that right now I have with the drivers. I have no problem. Customer loyalty is on the in the sellers. There is none.
So you're still in it's such an interesting nuance.
What?
You're still in you're still in the mode of convincing me.
Uh huh.
And I still keep saying to you, I want you to show me data and proof.
Yeah.
So, all of these things that you're saying you have, go put it into motion and get them on the platform and then show data. That's really the next step in my mind is you got to get people using it and then you show what you're saying through the usage data, not through just you convincing me through what
Yeah.
you say.
So like right here, somewhere in the documentation is the list of everybody who's downloaded the app worldwide.
Mhm.
Somewhere here, they're gonna give me that breakdown. So I have a list. I can clean it up. I can activate everybody, put that all together. Um, but it
But
does.
I think I'm saying something slightly different. I don't know if the nuance of what I'm saying is coming through to you
No,
or not.
no. Give it to me straight.
What I'm saying to you is it feels like you're trying to sell me that you're right.
Uh huh.
I don't want you to sell me that you're right. I want you to show me the data that proves to me that you're right. No one's going to give you money based on you telling them that you figured it out. So it feels to me like you're in sales mode with
Yeah,
me versus, hey, figured out the right way to sell this and I know that it's going to make money.
yeah,
I'm not feeling confident in that yet.
yeah,
So, and that's just a matter and a function of you being able to um, show data versus just telling people.
yeah. Sorry, I'm just writing this down.
Yeah, no, that's no need to be sorry at all.
Okay.
So basically, you got to go put this app in people's hands.
Yeah,
And that would be the next point at which I would want to talk to you. And then because after you put this app in people's hands, you're going to learn a shitload of information. You're
Yeah.
going to get feedback about why they like it and why they don't like it, which is going to give you information about what you need to build.
Yeah.
You're also going to get information about like, do I need to hire a customer service team because I have a lot of problems with customers on the back end?
Hmm.
Or do I need to hire a business development person because it works so well? We just now need to scale up. Right now, it's all hypothetical.
Okay, because I have a solution for that. I don't know if I should.
No, you do not. You can't have a solution for that because you haven't put it in users' hands.
Well,
You're everything that you're telling me right now is based on what you think,
uh-huh.
not what users are telling you.
Well, I need to put that in writing first because I do have that.
Customer service.
Exactly. Everything
Got
in
it.
regards to the restaurant, because that's a lot of things that we did, what I did while I was working for myself, and then straight up when I was on development. And that's what we do just by the cost. Instead of going commission based, we do the the flat fee.
Okay, good. So everything that you're telling me is like, yeah, I'm ready. So now that you're telling me you're ready, go sell it and
Okay.
then come back with data.
Yeah. No, so this month, the guys, they're going to look at the data because the main question they want to see is that can they take the app where it's at right now and scale it, finish building what we need, or we need to start from scratch? Those are the question we need to answer. But whichever
So
is,
so your product may not be ready yet.
yeah, but even if it's not, it can be done within 2 months. So it's the same people that I have for customers, I can bring over with the new service. The big
Okay.
difference too is that with two people who know how to manage it, especially on the technical side, because with the
Yeah.
technical side is where I have the problem. I have no,
Well, today that's where you have the problem. I think once you get the technical figured out, your bigger problem is going to be how do you get people on it and how do you get them to stay,
yeah,
which is where the real hard part of the business comes in. So, okay. So I think it sounds to me, I got the full picture now. It sounds to me like your immediate step right now is figure out the product and get it ready and get it to a point where you can put it in a customer's hands and they can use it and give you real feedback. I think that's your next step. Because otherwise, you're just going to be telling me what you believe is going to happen versus what's actually happening.
yeah, no, again, put it into writing, but the main thing that I got from the 10 restaurants are like, the, the, it's hard the user experience needs to be upgraded. When it comes to the cost, which is what they care the most, and this is where it got interesting. We're like, okay, let's process payment. I want to see that money come to my bank. And they saw that it got there, like, okay, when can we scale it? I'm like, I have no engineer in the back. This is all beta testing. They're like, oh, okay. So once you get an engineer, we can share this with anybody. I'm like, yeah, you can share it with anybody. So I need to put that
Yeah.
into writing.
You gotta actually make the product work is what they want, right? They
Exercise it.
want you
Yeah,
to, that's right. They want you to give them something that's actually gonna get what they want is the money,
yeah.
right?
That's what they want. They want the money for the
What
product.
they want is the money
Yep.
and what's standing in the way of the money is you having a solution that allows them to put their full menu on your app and be able to make that money. The other thing that's going to stand in the way of them making money is whether or not customers know your platform or not.
Yeah.
So that's why you actually are going to have to think about your marketing a little bit more too, because there's a big education piece to this. So to me, there's a couple, software is the beginning, but you have a bigger challenge of who's going to do the marketing and business development. And you talked about these partnerships. So who's going to be the person that's going to do that work? And who's going to be the person that makes sure that your app can handle like the full range of restaurant needs, which is a little bit different than just the development side. It's more of the customer experience
Hmm.
side of things. So there's a lot of different types of people you could hire, but I think your first goal is going to have to be to figure out like, well, what is most important to the customers who are going to be using your platform, and then you build from there. So super early. Um, and opportunities to just learn is sort of my takeaway from our convo
Yeah,
today.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Well, I could definitely work on putting that data together.
Hmm.
For the most part, like I said, we can reactivate the app now with the two engineers in the back,
Hmm.
and being able to say with certainty to the 10 plus the ones that we're gonna reach out to allow the customers to utilize it.
Try it and use it. Yeah.
They're gonna be the first persons to they're the first ones to
So
be.
what's your deadline? What's your date for the first people using it? Is it 2 months, it sounds like, from now?
No, I can have it on in, I don't know
But you
the,
sounds like you were saying maybe there's still some
no,
problems.
if I was to run it on like the basic like simple restaurants or simple cuisines, I can have it on by the end of the week.
I
It's
see.
just, yeah,
Okay.
just putting it on. It's in sleep mode. Plus, I need to uh, pay the terms. I think that's the only
Yep.
one. But it's already up and running on both the browser and the Apple and Android. So
Cool.
if I tell the engineers that we're gonna use that to, and they can take it and build on top of that, the restaurants don't have a problem bringing it online. We have material that we can print for them to tell their customers and the drivers, and we're gonna use the drivers themselves to get the customer, help the restaurant reach the customer, and they're also highly
How
motivated
how can the drivers do that?
because they're already working as delivery drivers.
Yeah, but my I never see my DoorDash delivery driver.
Oh, we have like for my tactic when I was working with DoorDash is put a little business card,
I see.
just a little something there, and even it gets to a point that I got to a point that I had with some customers, but they still tip me very well. So I know they they took notice of when I left DoorDash. So it's very simple. It's also trying to be uh, it's teaching the driver. This is not related to this, but being able to look the part and handle people's food with care and respect. That's going to equate to greater earnings, and if they can see the earnings also, not just talk, they're also motivated. At the end of the day, what really motivates both segments, at least for the restaurant, the customer, and the driver, I mean, the restaurant drivers getting their money for the work that they do or the product that they sell.
Yeah. So I think the work um that I really want you to I hear your passion. Remember when I gave that example in the pitch competitions or in the pitch deck, and I said the investor said, I can tell you believe in the product,
Yeah,
and that comes through. You got to start speaking more language of data and facts
yeah,
versus just your passion.
yeah,
Because your passion alone is going to turn an investor off because it's going to make you sound like you're someone who's just hyping it
yeah,
versus actually proving it.
yeah,
So so data first.
yeah.
Okay?
All right. Yeah, no, sounds good. I need to work on that because the data, I think I'm trying to focus on the value in itself. The cost in itself is what really differentiates the consistency and the customer experience is something that we need to continuously work on. So
Well, you're gonna learn more about that when you talk to customers. And so, but that's still missing right now because you're waiting for the product. And that's why it's so important to get the product in the customer's hands because without having them say that, it's you saying it,
yeah,
not
right
them.
now it's even and even if I wasn't, it's only 10 restaurants and 30 drivers data. It's not
Yeah.
enough. Where if
Yeah.
but with the confidence that the 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 two engineers I have coming on, I can
Yep.
turn on the 600 restaurants and
Yep.
at the end of the month and the drivers. Plus, I have a good customer base here, at least here in Vista. I haven't I still deliver to select rest customers, but they're also going to be my biggest evangelists. They're already on my They're like, hey,
Well, we'll see, right? There's a difference between people saying what they're going to do and what they actually do.
oh,
So,
I get more customers because of them. I keep telling them, it's select right now. Don't. It's only between the people because I can't. And they understand. They're like, I can't scale. Otherwise, I'll be running around like a headless chicken right now. Still.
all right, Mauro, have a
Thank you.
great rest of the weekend. It
You
was
too.
good connecting with you.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye.